So I'm going to show you how in a small urban garden we can pack a lot in and make the garden feel bigger. Now the common problems with most urban gardeners is not only the size, but you're surrounded by boundaries. We've got the shed, we've got this big wall, and we're also often overlooked from the properties beyond. So we have to try and find a way of creating some privacy without us feeling that we're enclosed in. Now, with any small urban garden, fences are something we can't remove. They're there front and centre. We can't change where they are, so we have to make them more beautiful. And colour is a very good way of making fences less fence-like. In this instance, I think dark blue is a really nice colour against the yellow of the bricks of the properties behind. So let's go for it. Let's paint the fence and the shed a really rich dark blue. If we are going to make a garden feel bigger, we need to get plants in there and we need to hide at least one part of the boundary. But if I simply add borders in that follow the line of the boundary, all I'm doing is showing you in the lawn where the boundary is. I actually make the garden feel smaller. So we need to use the largest element, the lawn shape, to create a different line that makes you look somewhere else. So if I angle the lawn slightly to the right hand side, let me just see if we can just pop that in there. I've now got a big sweeping curve and a really deep border at the back of the garden, which I can begin to plant. So if I now put in the soil and we've dug that out, we can start to add how we would plant. Now this particular customer wanted a tropical lush feeling to the garden, so we've got to pack a lot of plants into a really small space. But because we've given ourselves this really deep back border, we can add plants in front of each other. We can get some depth. Then I can use smaller plants with similar shapes at the front border here to tie in to the end of the garden. Now it's always useful sometimes to add really big statement pots, maybe of a really different colour, but that you have, because this will help join various parts of the garden together. Now we've still got this wall. Now most people would probably think, right, we'll put some climbers on, we'll put some big plants, we'll plant along the base. But the problem is at the bottom of the wall, the problem is at the top. You've still got that line of the boundary. So if you consider putting some wall troughs up there with some drought-tolerant plants that will dance with the wind like grasses and vinca, you'll hide the top line of the wall, which will again make the boundaries disappear and the garden feel bigger.